You just dropped so many wonderful nuggets that I want to recap. So a teacher treasure box
Mhm.
that is magic. I have never heard of that.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this a long time. I think I'm pretty good at things, but a teacher treasure box, that's fantastic. So that will be implemented today for me, for my staff. I love that. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Childcare Directors Chair podcast. I'm your host, Erica Sacoccio. If this is your first time tuning into our show, I'd like to say welcome. If you are one of my amazing listeners that listen day after day, I want to say I am so grateful for you. I have a few special shout outs. I'd like to say thank you to my listeners in Reseda, California, Reading, Massachusetts, Benton, Iowa, and Argyle, Texas. Thank you so much for tuning in day after day. We have a really cool new feature on our podcast called Fan Mail, where you can send a question to me. I'll be happy to answer it on the show or off the air. If you want something a little bit more personal, I can do that. Or you can give us a topic that you would like us to cover on the show, because that's why we're making the show. It's for you. So please reach out through that new fan mail tab. You can find it right on our show notes below. Also, we have a really great Facebook group. If you're not part of it, please join our group, and we can have some really fun, lively conversations there. So today's guest, I have a great guest who will need probably no introduction to most of you, especially if you're on Instagram. But I'm gonna keep that little nugget on the side for a second. Today's episode, we're gonna discuss the importance of celebrating milestones and achievements and everyday moments in your childcare center. We want you to create a sense of joy and excitement that will keep families and your staff coming back for more. So get ready to learn how to infuse every day a little sense of magic and wonder that will have everybody saying wow with our special guest, Latrice, aka the Childcare Chick. Welcome to our show.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here today. So thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So for the four folks in the whole country that don't know you, you wanted to tell folks a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. So my name is Latrice. Like she said, if you're on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, you might know me as the childcare chick or the lady in pink, is what they say. I have been in childcare 17 years. I am the owner of Kidsville Learning Academy here in Rosenberg, Texas. And I ran my center for probably about the first 8 or 9 years. And then I became an offsite owner to be able to focus on helping you guys grow your centers. So that's what I do. I have a consulting business as well where I consult. I have a teacher t-shirt brand called Trendy Teachers. And now my newest venture is the Born to Teach Con. So I do all things childcare, and I'm excited to be here and share how I create the wow factor at Kidsville.
Yeah, I am super excited to talk as well. I think too, make sure you listen all the way to the end, because we're going to talk a little bit about the Born to Teach conference, where you'll also be able to meet me at my booth. I'm super excited to go to Texas. We have literally so many listeners in Texas. I love Texas. It is true what you guys say. It is bigger in Texas. It sure is.
Yes,
It
it
is
is.
it's our number one listening state.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know, little girl from Rhody, they like me down there. I don't know if it's maybe it's my accent.
It could be. It could be.
So let's talk a little bit about how we recognize and celebrate achievements for children, teachers, or staff. So we can kind of break it down. Let's talk a little bit about recognition for the children.
Okay. So at our center, everything's a big deal. If you follow my center on social media, we will literally have a party or a celebration or a parade or something for literally anything. I love to celebrate the children from day one. Like when you first come, you're going to be celebrated and welcome gift. We're going to make sure your parents get a cute picture of you welcoming them to Kidsville Learning Academy. These are things to make the children feel welcome, because I mean, they're coming into a new space. They don't know you.
Yeah.
They don't know anybody. So we're doing everything to make them feel welcome. From that day, we continue. If a child just does something that they've been having a hard time doing, one time, everybody that passed by is probably giving them high fives. We're giving them little notes to go home. We are telling the parents. We are making everything a big deal to boost their confidence and to let them know that we see you. You're doing amazing. And I think that's important to pour into children, especially nowadays. With the children, birthdays, we're making a big deal. They're going to have a crown. They're going to be the prince, the princess, the king,
Yes.
queen of the
I
day.
love it.
Yes, we're
I
going to
love
make
it.
sure they get a crown. They go home with a birthday certificate. At our school, we have a big television in the middle that just goes across with new enrollments and notes if it's your birthday, your picture's going to be there, your name's going to be there. So we do things like that just to make everybody feel like family and let them know that we recognize them for all their achievements, everything they do, important milestones and dates. We make them very important at our center.
Yeah, I love that. So we have this group called the Hundreds Club where children are working on their numbers. And so when a child is able to identify all their numbers 1 through 100, like it's literally like the Queen of England has come to the center. It's like pomp and circumstances. I come out of the office, da, 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 they get this t-shirt, all the kids are chanting. So yeah, so it's like a big deal. But yeah, I love what you said too. And I'm Italian, so my culture is definitely all about people feeling welcome. And
Yes.
it's one of the things I tell folks right at our tour, because, everybody is looking for something different. I'll tell people we celebrate holidays here. We
Mhm.
celebrate birthdays here. Your kid is going to get a cupcake, right? So that might not be for everybody, but I let people know right up in front at the tour that these are things that we value and are important to us. And I love what you said too about building children's self-esteem
You have to.
and feeling proud for, about themselves. I think that's super, super important. And like you said, now more than ever, because it's been hard the last couple of years. Hard for grown-ups, never mind a 3 and a 4-year-old.
Right. And sometimes I tell my staff this may be the only celebration or high five they get today. And sometimes
Yeah.
we see parents, we see them. Sometimes they're busy. I get it. I'm a busy mom too. Sometimes they're busy. They're picking them up. They're on their phone. They're trying to tell them, hey, hey, hey. So
Yeah.
sometimes we are the only celebration that they get. So we have to make it a big deal to boost their self-esteem and let them know that we see you. You're accomplishing. You're doing great.
Yeah. So I like to share a story that just happened today. So we have this little boy who came to us from way of another center. He was terminated from another center. And I called the dad to the office and I said, "Hey, I really need to talk to you and I need you to come in the office and sit down." And his body language was just like, "Oh
Yeah.
God."
Again.
And yeah, right. And I said to him, I said, "I need you to know that your son is the sweetest boy and is so kind and so nice. And, he really just, we just have this bond. I mean, he's only been there for 2 months. And I ask him to do something. He does it, immediately. Like, I'm like, he is such a great kid." And the dad's eyes started to fill up with tears. He
Oh,
said, honestly, he said, "Erica, you made my day." He goes, I don't get a lot of good feedback about my son." I said, "Well, you just didn't find the right place." But so that really does make a difference to somebody, and it was just that little thing at the end of the day. I mean, it was a grown man
yeah.
with tears in his eyes because, he didn't hear that a lot. And then I turned to the child and I said, "I am proud of you. Keep working on doing what you're doing now. Keep working on those skills, listening and following directions and having a good time at school and learning." And, he couldn't wait to come back tomorrow. But yeah,
Yeah,
it matters. The things we do matter. It's just
absolutely.
those little things. So
And I
let's
think
talk.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say this was something that I put a post up probably yesterday that just said sometimes you have to find that right center. Every child may not be a good fit. So when we get students that come, they may have been terminated from another center. We tell parents we give everybody a fair shot.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get to our center and I'm like, you said he did what? But we
Because it was the environment. It was the environment.
environment. It's a different
Yeah.
environment. So I love that you said that. And then we let the parents know. In our center, we have, if you do have to tell a parent something negative, you have to give them two positives
You got
first.
to sandwich that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because no one wants to hear that. I just got off work. I don't want to hear that. So
Yeah.
sometimes we make it a point throughout the day, throughout the week, whether it's through the app, we're sending positive, random. Oh my
Yeah.
God, he counted to 10 today. Oh my God, he
Yeah.
went to the potty 3 times. That kind of stuff makes a big difference to parents and
Yeah.
to the children.
And to the children. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I started with them. because I love the kids.
Yep.
So people will say, you worked in childcare for 25 years. How do you do it? I went, the kids are the reason I come back.
And
I love the kids, right? It's the best part of the job.
for the easy part.
They are the easy part. So let's talk about teachers. 'Cause, I mean, this is a perfect week. It's Teacher Appreciation Week. So
Mhm.
share with folks how you celebrate your teachers at your program.
My God, where do I start? Like I, I celebrate my teachers on a regular. Sometimes it's lavish, sometimes it's a note on their door with a sticky that when they come in the morning. But I celebrate not only milestones, but every little thing I see them do. Perfect example, man, trying to get the 18 to 23-year-old month class sitting down for circle time. It's like an act of Congress, right? But
Hmm.
one of our new teachers, we've been watching her, and she is like, what is she doing in there? They're all
She's
sitting
a unicorn.
there. And so that was something worthy of recognition. So we have a teacher treasure box, right? And so we made it a big deal. We get on the intercom, Miss Alexis, we saw you. You got those, we haven't had anyone in a long time being able to do this. You get to come to the front and get something out the treasure box. And we have all these great gifts in this treasure
Yeah.
box. From things like that to bigger gifts for, like, I have a teacher tomorrow that is celebrating 15 years. So this won't be aired, but she got her own parking spot. And then
Yep.
we announce her. She got her own custom parking spot because she's been there 15 years. We give bonuses out. I took my teachers to Disney one time
Yeah.
all of
Wow.
them as a big appreciation because they helped the entire center maintain get 4-star accreditation. I couldn't do that alone.
Yeah.
Told them if we get 4 stars, we're going to Disney. I took them all to Disney. So little things, their birthdays, they get birthdays paid off. They get their birthdays paid off, and we have a birthday committee. So we have one of our teachers who is so creative. She's the birthday committee. It's her job to make sure on everybody's birthday, their door is decorated. They have a basket with all their favorites in it. They get the card signed by everybody, and they get their paid day off. So anniversaries, birthdays, regular moments that we see you doing something amazing. Your circle time was rocking. We'll put a note on your door, your favorite drink in your room. The little things go a long way.
For sure. You just dropped so many wonderful nuggets that I want to recap. So a teacher treasure box
Mhm.
that is magic. I have never heard of that.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this a long time. I think I'm pretty good at things, but a teacher treasure box, that's fantastic. So that will be implemented today for me, for my staff. I love that, love that, love that. And that's so nice because then they can kind of pick what they want. Um,
Mhm.
I think that's a great idea.
And it
Um,
doesn't look like a kid box. It's a really cute basket, big.
yep.
Bath and Body Works, teacher t-shirts, journals, coffee cups, mugs, and they get to pick, and gift cards,
Yeah.
Starbucks and Chick-fil-A and things, and they get to come pick.
Yeah. But I love that because I will go buy my staff stuff on a regular basis, but I never thought to do it as a treasure box to let them pick. Like I pick based on what I know about them, but
Mhm.
that's a great idea. Geez. The other thing I wanted to say when you had said that, sometimes it's lavish, sometimes it's not. So sometimes the things that are not lavish are the things that they appreciate most. So I have an employee, she doesn't work for me anymore. We worked together for about 15 years. Her name is Michelle, and I would write notes on their paychecks. And she told me towards the end of the time that she was getting ready to retire, she said, "Do you know I kept all of those paycheck envelopes that I wrote notes on?" So she had like 30, 40 of them enveloped wrapped up together. So that really meant a lot to her. That cost me nothing but a few minutes of my time and a heartfelt show of appreciation. I know people on limited budgets. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It's sometimes, like you said, it's those little things that make a big difference in someone's life,
And
you
you
know?
know what? And I would like to say that just like everybody has a love language, everybody's love languages and gifts, you have to learn your staff. And I'm big on building relationships. I know what my staff likes. I know the moment they need a little note on their door. I can tell that she might have had a rough week.
Hmm.
So learn their love language. Some like gifts, some like words of affirmation, some like, for you to recognize them. And the younger generation, they love to be recognized. They love for us to get on the intercom and say, "Hey, did you see Miss So-and-so's? When you pass by our room, give her a high five because we saw her doing this." So learn your staff's love languages too, because some people don't care about the big gifts.
Yeah. So What about you? What do you do for yourself, Latrice?
Work. I love to travel. I love to travel. Whenever I get a break, I try to travel. I love a good spa day.
Yes.
At the age I am now, I just like my peace. I like to relax.
Yes.
I like to spend time with my family. I have 3 children. And they're getting where they don't want to spend time with me because they're older, but I like to spend time with my family. So we do a lot of traveling when we're not working.
Yeah. And I think it's important because when you're a leader and you work at the level that we do and put in the hours that we do, it is very easy to get burnt out. And when you do get in that, it's easy to miss all those little cues like you were talking about. If you're burnt out, you're tired, you're stressed, you're not gonna know that that lady down the hall needs that note on the
Mm-mm.
door. So
No.
taking care of yourself also helps you take care of your people. And the other thing that you said that it just came back to me was you have somebody in charge of making sure that everybody's birthday is acknowledged or anniversaries. You have to have that because if not, you're counting on yourself to do it. It's really, really hard. You're already juggling so many things. And how rotten is everybody gets a birthday card and a gift and a crown and you don't get yours on your birthday? That's horrible.
And
That's
it's happened.
horrible. And there's a lot of making up to do there.
It's happened.
It's
I've been
happened in my program. That's why
yeah,
I brought it up.
it's happened. I forgot someone's anniversary. I forgot someone's,
Yeah.
birthday because I'm trying to juggle, like you said, everything. So I decided to put people love to show their gifts and feel a part. That's another thing about building culture. People want to feel a part. They want to know I'm contributing. So she takes passion in doing that, and it's already something she loves to do.
Yeah.
So she has her binder with everybody's birthday, everybody's favorites list. We give her the amount every month. She keeps a bucket with happy birthday balloons and all her stuff, and she decorates their door the night before. And she makes this basket and puts it together. She goes around and makes sure every staff has signed the card. We never worry about missing a birthday. She checks it every month and knows whose birthday's
That's
coming. The
awesome.
cards are passed around, and that way, like I said, I don't have all that making up to do because
Yeah.
and then they're upset. Yesterday was my birthday. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
It's happened to the best of us, trust me. So yeah, I know you said you celebrate everything. Let's talk about some milestones. If somebody's like really struggling, maybe not really creative, what are some major milestones or milestones that you think that center directors should really have their finger on the pulse as far as, what should they be celebrating or at least making sure that they're capturing?
So I've had staff struggling in the classroom, but we go in, we model, we show them. When we see improvement, we have given out an award for that, or the most improved award. At the meeting, like you were struggling here, now you're here. We're starting something called the Spirit Stick. So we pass that around the school. Whichever class has the most spirit, their circle time is rocking. They're so engaged. They get the Spirit Stick for the week. And that's a big deal. Like, oh, we got the stick. So now teachers are engaged and they're excited and they're really implementing those lessons because they want the Spirit Stick. Now, everybody isn't, like you said, everybody isn't creative. Everybody may not be that teacher that's going to run through the halls and stand on the chair and teach. Because we have some like that and we have some that are more laid back,
Yeah,
and that's
sure.
okay. They still get the job done, and we recognize them for who they are, where they are, and what they're doing. So we still let them know you're doing amazing. Like, look at your reports and look at your assessments. Your children are really that's because of you.
Yeah.
So
And
I think
I love that spirit stick too when you're thinking about how to build culture. Like
yeah.
that's building a culture of fun too, right? Because we should love what we do. And I'd love to get back to everybody loving what we do because before the pandemic, man, you could not hold a pre-K teacher down, right?
Yeah.
We love what we do. And the last few years have been really tough. So I think, a spirit stick is a great way to improve that culture, like you said, and no matter where they're at. So,
Absolutely. And
um,
that's one of our core values is to have fun. Our tagline is we make learning fun, but we also make work fun. And that's what we do. When we're learning, when we're teaching, if the teachers are having fun, the children are having fun.
yes, 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 they are.
But if the teacher has to, lead by example. And so when you said something earlier, and I was thinking about it, I said, well, it starts at the top. When you said we got to get back to that, it starts at the top. And
Hmm.
I tell my directors this all the time. It starts with you. It starts with me. Even though I'm offsite owner, it starts with me.
Yeah.
It does. And
I know. That's why I asked you, what do you do to take care of yourself and celebrate yourself and recognize all your hard work? Because let's face it, all those things that you're running, that is no easy task.
at all.
Just getting out of a center, Latrice, I give props where they're due. Just getting off site is
So,
an accomplishment and a goal that many folks can't achieve or
mhm,
have such a hard time achieving, right?
absolutely.
So, yeah, you're onto something there with, making sure you're taking care of your folks at the upper level so they can take care of your children and your family. So it starts with you. You wouldn't be
Absolutely.
able to do what you're doing otherwise.
And I tell my staff that all the time, and that's why I appreciate them so much. Because of them, I can be the childcare chick. I can have this big conference. I can, because if not, I would be stuck there all day, every day. But because they are great employees, very dedicated, very loyal, I take very good care of them. And I'm not just talking about financially, I build
Sure.
relationships with them. I genuinely care about their well being as well as what they do at Kidsville. Some people, it's business as usual. And when I train, when people are talking about I can't keep staff, and I'm listening to them and I'm
Hmm.
going, I know, I
You know
see.
why?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see why.
Yeah.
Like, it can't always be business as usual. They're human.
Yeah. We're going out tomorrow to the escape room, me and my team.
And we did it for
Yes.
1 year.
So fun. Yeah, so fun.
So fun.
So let's talk about children's milestones. What are some of the children's milestones that you think really can help a center set themselves apart?
Man, we will celebrate when they start walking from the infant room. That's a big one. We start celebrating that. Our biggest celebration though with the children is our graduation, is our pre-K
Yes.
graduation. That's one of our biggest celebrations. But when we talk about all the time celebrations, when we're doing our assessments, we celebrate that. When we compare these assessments and we see that this child has jumped so many levels and things like that, we celebrate that. We will send them notes home. We will give them a balloon that says that. We let their parents know. Again, for them, everything has to be a big deal. So they know they're on to something. But our biggest is our pre-K graduation. But again, every day we just celebrate those little milestones. We had a child, she wasn't even talking. She was almost 2 and hadn't said a word. By the time she's 2.5, she's starting to talk. Man, we are clapping. We are having a celebration. Girl, we are
Yes.
calling her parents. Like, wait,
Yeah.
you just potty training. That's another one. When it comes to when they get potty trained, that's a big achievement that we celebrate the children. They finally got potty trained. Oh my God, you're in big boy, big girl underwear. This is amazing. We might have a little potty training certificate. So again, anything. We'll celebrate if they eat their green beans. We'll be in the cafeteria. I can hear my teachers and I'm
Get
like,
those veggies in.
vegetables, we're having a party. Okay. So okay,
I
whatever.
love that. I love that. I love that. It's such a great culture. So what about special events? So you mentioned graduation. We've got ours coming up
Mhm.
like 4 weeks. Tell me about some special events that you might do at your program.
My God, my team is sick of me, really. But because we've had so many this month. So we do our moms and muffins, but this year we switched it up. I'm like, we've been doing moms and muffins for years. So we're doing something called Cuddles and Canvases on Mother's Day
Oh,
brunch.
nice,
So they're going to
nice.
be painting. We do Father's Day. We do Grandparents' Day, graduation. Our biggest community event is for the last 7 years, we've had a big Halloween bash, but it's open to the community. We have hundreds and hundreds of people come through every single year because it's a safe place for them to bring their children, and everything is absolutely free. It's one of my biggest give backs to the community. Face painting, clowns,
Love
bounce
it.
houses, free food. When COVID hit, we started making it a trunk or treat because they couldn't come
Sure.
inside, but that was even better. So now
Yeah.
trunk or treat, that's one of our biggest events. We do something called Breakfast with Santa every year, but it's only for our lower parents. But
Hmm.
we make this huge breakfast. Santa comes, they get to take pictures with Santa. We do a giveaway for Christmas. I do a give back, so that's my second biggest. This year we did 250 gifts. Last year we did 100 bikes back to the community. So I'm big on giving back to the community who has supported me for 17 years. But we also celebrate just everyday stuff. We had a Cinco de Mayo parade and party, talk about a party. We had tacos last week, celebrating teacher appreciation. I mean, Valentine's Day, lunch with a loved one. We literally have, and I told you my staff is sick of me. We literally have an event probably every month, an
We
event
do too.
Yep.
Yeah, so we have a community calendar that we give out to families in January and say, here are all the different events that we do. You're welcome to pick and choose what ones you want. Come to all of them. We do a big Easter egg hunt at our city park.
Okay.
And yeah, and so we had, I don't know, probably 200 and something
Yeah.
folks come on into the big field and do that. But yeah, I think that's really important. You segued right in because my next question was going to be, how do you give back to the community and
Okay.
significant celebrations? So you segued right into that.
Yeah, I do.
So
Like I said, our Halloween bash, we give back for families. We've even done Thanksgiving drives. We've done food drives during Thanksgiving. We give food to people that need food. We give Christmas presents away. So we do give back to the community quite a bit. Like I said, they are the people and the reason that I've lasted 17 years in the same community.
yeah. So can you share some creative ways that you found to celebrate? You said, oh, we celebrate everything. Tell me your most creative. I mean, spirit stick sounds pretty cool, but tell me your most creative that you think.
Oh, the most creative. God, I don't know if there's a most creative because I think they're all pretty creative.
Well, tell me your favorite then. Tell me your absolute favorite.
I think it would have to be our Halloween event. I do because I get to see, man, I see kids that come that went to my center 15 years ago. They come to see me. That is the one time that I really just get to see so many people and so many memories, and it gets bigger and bigger every year. And when I'm there and I'm looking out and I'm seeing hundreds of people just in our parking lot, just excited, dancing, the kids are jumping, they're getting their face made, they're eating, they're excited. People are coming up to me like, this was so amazing. The Halloween is just my absolute favorite because I get to see so many people. I get to make so many connections and make so many memories. That's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love Halloween. It's my favorite. So what about, well, it seems like you already have a culture of appreciation. What would your biggest tip be, or what tips could you give to maybe somebody who's brand new at trying to figure out, maybe they went into a center that doesn't really quite have that culture of appreciation. They really want to turn it around. What would be a couple tips that you would?
Well, first, I just want to tell them if you want to retain staff, if you want to retain parents, you want to retain children, they want to know that you appreciate them. Staff in childcare, they won't get paid $1 million. And sometimes it's not even about the money, right? So what I would first do is build relationships. I'm a big relationship builder. That's where I start building this culture of appreciation is with relationships. I build relationships with, even as an offsite owner, I make it a point to build a relationship with every single staff member that I have, every single parent that comes through, and every single child. No, I don't see them all the time, but when I'm there, I'm building that relationship with them. I'm asking questions outside of Kidsville necessarily. How is your daughter? Because I built a relationship. I know, your husband was sick. How is he feeling? So the first thing I would say is build those relationships, because once you build those relationships, you will know what makes them tick, that particular staff member, right? And once you start knowing them, you'll know when they need that note. You'll know when they just need a cup of coffee. Like, you'll know when they need to take 5. So build those relationships first. And remember, it starts with you. I have seen owners, you go in, you're tired, so you have a bad attitude, but you're mad at your teacher for having a bad attitude. It starts with you. It starts with you. So
Amen.
even when I'm tired, sometimes I have a bad day, but when I step foot and open that door, they would never know it, because I know that it starts with me. Another misconception that people think that you need to have a lot of money to show appreciation. Appreciation could be a thank you. Simple. It could be a sticky note on the door. One day I walked in and I seen all the sticky notes on some of the doors, and I said, what's this? And my curriculum coordinator said, they have been killing it this week. And before I left them some notes on the door.
I bet they love that too.
Oh my God. You walk in and you just have this little sticky note before you open your door. You can't miss it. That said something that she saw and that you're doing amazing, or whatever it is.
Yeah. My team likes a little extra time out of the room. So sometimes it's, like, especially like you said, if you already know somebody's kind of not quite where they need to be for the day, sometimes I'll be like, hey, I have some filing and some stuff that I got to do in the office. Let's switch. I'll go play with the kids. And I know that teachers do more than play, but I go play with kids.
Yeah.
I go play with the kids. That's how I teach. I go play with the kids, play, and I allow them to like take some time out of the class, do some things. And like you said too, folks sometimes like to be part of something bigger and change it up a little bit. They're very happy to do those things. And I'm like, ugh, I don't want to file any more things, right?
Absolutely.
Right. It's mundane to me. So yeah. So I think, there's lots of different ways and
Absolutely.
even letting them know, saying, guys, I really appreciate you. What can I do to make it better for you? Just ask. You
Yeah.
don't have to be a mommy. Just ask.
Yes.
Ask, right?
Well,
They'll
we
let you
do a
know.
survey. We do staff surveys to find out. At our meetings, I always tell clients, like, your meeting does not need to be a session where you just,
Oh,
you need to ask them.
yeah.
Because a lot of times, I'm not in the classroom. I'm going to be real honest. Where I think, oh, you have everything you need. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do need something else. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
they need a little support sometimes. So asking them is a big deal as well. But again, it doesn't have to cost that much. It doesn't.
Yeah.
But I do think every owner should have in their budget somewhere
Mm-hmm.
a
Yeah.
little cushion to be able to, if you want to go buy them lunch or breakfast or, or have a treasure box, you got to be able to put a
Yeah.
little bit in there for your staff. You
Yeah.
got to have a line item for them.
Yeah, it's important. One of the places where I learned a lot about my team and they learned a lot about me was when we had a strategic planning meeting. I
Mhm.
invited my entire team and we all kind of like, where are we going? What are we doing? I set out the vision, but wow, we learned a lot. They learned a lot about the business end. I learned a lot from them and we all really were contributing to where we were moving next. What was the next thing? And a lot of folks said like that really was something that really made them feel the culture and really felt super connected to the company.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So like you said, all the meetings don't have to be like, oh, you didn't wear your uniform, you were late, blah, 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 right? Right. So this was a very uplifting type of meeting. So let's talk this Born to Teach conference. Tell
Oh,
folks a little bit about that.
this is
Yes.
a great segue. So I created the Born to Teach conference. It's been a vision for a while, right? But sometimes I know with me, sometimes my vision goes real big, real quick. So I have to slow down. So I started having smaller events and they were selling out. And I said, okay, God, I hear you. It's time. I always wanted a conference that was engaging because during these times, the staff is changing. Right. We all know we're getting different kind of staff. So when I started 17 years ago, we go in this big room and you sit at this chair and someone's there for 8 hours with a PowerPoint and they're talking to you. And I would be like this and like that. And so, but it's things we have to do. So I wanted a conference that was engaging. I wanted a conference where leaders and teachers can come together because like you just said, when you have that strategic meeting and when you can talk together. A lot of times owners don't want to share certain things with their staff, but
Mm-hmm.
learn certain things, their eyes open. Like, oh, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They think we're superwoman. But when they hear all the things we're going through, we have to do, it's like, ooh, I didn't know that. So I wanted a conference where we can learn together because in order for your center to be successful, it's going to take all of y'all.
Everybody.
Right? It's going to take the whole team. And we do have conferences for leaders and we have separate conferences for teachers. And I don't think anything's wrong with that because when I go to leadership conferences, some of the I'm learning, my teachers don't need to learn. But my vision was for us to come together. Yes, we have a Born to Teach track just for teachers, and we have a Born to Lead track just for leaders. But we have some amazing keynotes where we're going to learn some things together to help us work together. Because when we can come together, it's a win for the center, the children, the families, when we can work together to create magic.
Yeah.
And so that's what Born to Teach, that's how Born to Teach started, the vision. And so it is July 4th weekend. And why I chose July 4th weekend, Erica, we can't close our centers and say, hey, parents, we're closed. We're going, you're going to lose money and you're going to lose parents. But because 4th of July this year fell on a Thursday, I knew it was simple to put it in your calendar in advance to say
it was brilliant.
We're already closed on Thursday, and we're going to close Friday for Professional Development Day because you should have those built into your schedule. And
Absolutely.
so you didn't have to worry about losing money, mad parents, or anything like that. And if you chose to bring your team or even some of your team, it wouldn't be an issue, right? And so that's why it's 4th of July. And of course, it's in Houston because I'm in Houston and everything's bigger in Texas. And so I wanted you guys to come experience Texas at the Marriott Marquis, which is the amazing hotel with the Texas-shaped pool at the top. So you will be able to enjoy that as well. But we have some amazing keynotes. We have some, I went high and low for this lineup because I wanted to bring people that would literally pour into you, that would provide value, strategic sessions that you can take those strategies back to your center on Monday and start implementing. Right. I've been to conferences where it's like, why did I even come here?
Yeah.
I don't,
You
nothing.
could teach the conference. Yeah. I
No,
know.
I
I do.
weeded out my speakers myself. Very
Yeah.
few of them came to me. I had been watching them. I knew what I was looking for. I knew. So I'm super excited.
Yeah. You did a great job. I know a few of your speakers. You did a
Yeah,
great
thank
job.
you. So
Very
I'm
intentional.
super excited. Yeah, I was very intentional. Like I said, most people I vetted them. They didn't come to me. I already knew who I wanted on the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I started making phone calls, right? And so I'm super excited about it. It has been a lot of work, but it is going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm not just saying it because I put everything into this. The speakers are going to be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be engaging. It's going to be inspirational, motivational, and you're going to learn so much while having a good time in Texas.
I agree, and you have my endorsement because I just don't fly just anywhere. So
Yeah,
I'm taking my son to Texas with me
yeah.
to be at your event. Yeah, I agree that your lineup is great. So yeah, so our listeners out there, if you're interested in the Born to Teach conference, let them know where do they find that info.
Absolutely. So you can go to www.borntoteachcon.com. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at Born to Teach Con, and you will find all the information there. And you can purchase your tickets on the website. If you want to know like the sessions we're having and the scheduling, all that is on the website as well as the hotel information.
Yeah, and all my listeners in Texas, I am flying halfway across the country to meet you. Please make sure you come and stop at my booth. I am beyond excited to be at this event. So thank you for tuning in today, my friends. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe here or here or here, wherever Derek decides to put the button. If you listen to us on a regular basis, again, thank you. Are incredibly humble at how quick you are growing our show for us. And we hope that this is a great community where you enjoy coming in on a regular basis. So remember, it's the small details, it's the small things that make a big impact in your childcare success. Thank you for tuning in. This is Erica, your host from the Childcare Director's Chair. Have a great day.